Well, hi everyone. Really lovely to be here with you all. And thanks for those who have tuned in to the live stream. My name is Lucy Caine. I work with Environmental Defense Fund, as Sarah mentioned. And maybe really quickly before I go into kind of the nitty-gritty of what we're planning for the Water Leadership Institute in Salinas, um, it'd be helpful to understand that Environmental Defense Fund and RCAC, the Rural Community Assistance Corporation, as well as some other partners throughout California, have been hosting the Water Leadership Institute since about 2016 in response to the really kind of dense policy that Sarah was touching on, the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act. When that passed about 10 plus years ago, there was really a gap between um, the folks that were trying to figure out how to get groundwater basins into balance and community members that were being impacted first and foremost. And so the Water Leadership Institute is kind of meant to be that bridge, still almost 10 years later. Um, and this is the first time that we're hosting it on the coast. So we have really strong roots throughout the Central and San Joaquin valleys in California. But January 2026 is the first time the Water Leadership Institute is going to be in Salinas, and we're so excited. Been really fortunate to work with the partners that we have here and the ones that Sarah mentioned on the previous slide. And so just a quick debrief on, or maybe I'll pause, Leticia, if you want to capture some of that.
Sí, el Instituto de Liderazgo de Agua es un programa que va a ser gratuito y disponible en español e inglés para los residentes del Valle de Salinas y está mayormente enfocado en ayudar a residentes que no se necesita tener nada de experiencia en torno a temas con el agua, pero una de las metas principales es desarrollar conocimiento sobre el agua y también ayudar a los participantes a que desarrollen habilidades con su liderazgo y cómo abogar por temas acerca del agua. También este programa se centra mucho en atender las voces de miembros de comunidades que muchas veces son desatendidos y que no tienen suficiente representación. Y una de las otras metas que tenemos es apoyar a la comprensión y la participación que se toma acerca de, para hacer decisiones locales acerca del agua y que los participantes sepan a quién dirigirse y tener esa red de contactos que faciliten la conversación y la abogacía por estos temas.
Great. So, what is the Water Leadership Institute? Essentially, it is a free multilingual program that builds leadership skills and water knowledge among community members. Um, it's kind of these are kind of the three primary goals of the program. So, yeah, as I mentioned, to build water knowledge and leadership skills, to center the voices of underserved and underrepresented community members. Um, yeah, to really ensure that those folks have the tools that they need to engage effectively in local water decision making, especially around groundwater management. We already got a taste from Sarah on just how critical that is for the Salinas Valley. So, and we get to partner with the GSA. So it will have a groundwater management focus. Um, and also the Institute aims to support meaningful understanding and participation in local water decision making. So, yeah, those are kind of the three core tenets. And workshops will focus on learning from one another and working collaboratively to learn about potential water solutions for the region and how to work towards those equitable, lasting decisions in the future as a community. And Leticia, I'll pause.
I think I got ahead of myself and I took
Oh,
the
you already covered it.
communication for
Great.
this. We covered that. Yeah.
Gorgeous. Okay. Um, so yeah, I'll move on here to some of the logistics and kind of accessibility concerns that often come up. Well, just generally, the Institute will bring together community leaders, residents, water managers, kind of you name it, as I mentioned before, it's kind of meant to be this bridge between, folks that maybe are not in theory on the same side of issues and creating a safe space to kind of have that dialogue in a supported space. And the dates it'll be 4 Saturday workshops running from 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. On January 31st, February 21st, and March 7th and March 28th. Um, Sessions will be held at the Salinas Rodeo in Salinas at the Rodeo grounds, um, also named Salinas Sports Complex. All of that information is in the application that we'll talk about shortly. But sessions are family friendly. They include meals and snacks and coffee. There will be live interpretation. Spanish and English interpretation is guaranteed, but also in the application, there's a chance for you to uh, indicate whether you need a different language accessibility that we can work to accommodate. Um, and participation stipends. Yeah, these are happening on Saturdays. Many of you or many participants are, either having to sacrifice a shift where they would be getting paid or a day off. And so we really try and make it worth your while. And every participant will get a participation stipend for every session that they attend. And I think with that, I'm going to hand it over to Oh, no, I'm going to Leticia.
Ya,
Sorry.
perfecto. Ok, un poquito de la logística y de cómo hemos planeado el Instituto de Liderazgo del Agua y también para hacerlo más accesible, es que este instituto está organizado con participación de líderes comunitarios, miembros de la comunidad y líderes que están también especializados en diferentes temas del agua, miembros de diferentes grupos de la comunidad. Entonces, está enfocado, aparte de la estructura de cómo se va a manejar el instituto, van a ser sesiones a 4 sábados, más o menos, o cada mes se van a estar haciendo estas sesiones. Van a correr la primera va a ser el 31 de enero, las siguientes fechas vienen febrero 21 y al 7 y 28 de marzo. La primera sesión, que es el enero 31, y todas las demás sesiones se van a llevar a cabo en el rodeo de Salinas, en el Sports Complex. Y si van a la aplicación, les va a dar más detalles específicamente en el espacio donde se tienen que dirigir, pero el concepto de esto es que es la principal, que va a ser un lugar seguro para hablar acerca de temas del agua y aprender, ¿verdad? Compartir nuestras perspectivas y aprender de otros líderes en la comunidad. Va a ser un ambiente familiar, se van a estar proveyendo comidas, interpretación en español e inglés está garantizada, pero si tú estás interesado en participar y ser parte del Instituto del Liderazgo del Agua, puedes llenar la aplicación que vamos a estar compartiendo en un momentito, y si necesitas traducción a otro idioma, hay una opción para escogerlo en la forma, y así nosotros podemos saber que se va a necesitar traducción en otro idioma aparte de inglés y español. También a los participantes se les va a estar pagando un pequeño estipendio por su participación, ya que estas son sesiones que van a ir varias horas y para ayudar a apoyar un poquito la inversión de su tiempo. We can move on to the next.
Perfect. And then I'll hand it over to Letty Hernandez to introduce yourself and talk about who should apply and how. Ooh, I'm not getting any audio from you, Letty. Mm-mm. No, unless I'm the only one, but yeah, I don't think.
No, I'm not hearing any audio from our end either.
Okay. Do you want to I can maybe start talking about this and if you maybe leave and come back? Okay. Um, cool. Well, then I will be talking about who should apply and how. Um, and I wanted to include some photos from previous cohorts. This was our cohort that graduated in 2024 from the Delta Mendota region in the Valley. Um, these are also some former participants and on top here is an example of a recent zine deliverable that our Water Leadership Institute program in Arizona created, just to kind of give a taste of yes, there's a lot of technical information that we will cover and go deep into, but there's also opportunities to storytell and get creative and connect with other Salinas community members and folks working in water. Um, Letty, do you want to try again? No, I can't hear you. Um, But yeah, anyway, I'll just kind of keep going and feel free to interrupt me if your audio gets connected. Um, but yeah, I really wanted to stress that no prior experience in water management or leadership is needed, just a willingness to participate fully. Um, we're seeking applicants from communities around the Salinas Valley, including San Ardo, King City, Greenfield, Soledad, Salinas, Prunedale, Marina, Seaside, etc. Um, and we're especially encouraging participation from residents dependent on domestic wells or small water systems, community members concerned about their water supplies or quality, um, or if you want to understand groundwater as the main water supply to the Salinas Valley, um, or yeah, if you're concerned about underrepresented and marginalized communities and how that kind of intersects with all of these water issues, this is the space for you. So really encourage you to apply. Um, Applications are open now, and the deadline to submit your application is January 15th. If you're watching here and you can see my screen, you can scan the QR code that'll bring you right to our application page. Um, or you can go to waterleadershipinstitute.com/California, and you'll see the option to apply to the Salinas cohort there.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. No, thank you for taking over. I apologize. Letty Hernandez, Salinas resident, Salinas native, a resident of Marina currently. But I wanted to just jump in, other than all who should be applying. I wanted to let everybody know, as a community resident organizer, I am just super excited about the curriculum that we have for the Water Leadership Institute. It's very much place-based. It's very much culturally relevant. We've got opportunities for us to storytell. We have opportunities for us to express ourselves through art, and opportunities to learn through literature and other ways. So I'm really excited about it as a local, and I hope everyone. I hope everybody. I'm pretty sure a lot of folks are going to come with that same kind of energy. I know Eric Mora was on this call, and he has already signed up for the Water Leadership Institute. And so we are encouraging a breadth of industry leaders to join in. We want educators, we want folks in medical, we want folks that don't necessarily really know about water, as an expert, in order for all of us to understand the lexicon, the vocabulary, and so we can be conscious citizens. Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you, Letty. And Leticia, do you want to just maybe just translate the piece about applications being open and where to find them?
Ya. Sí, las aplicaciones para el Instituto del Liderazgo del Agua ya están abiertas. Si gustan participar y ser parte de este programa, pueden mandar su aplicación. Tienen la fecha final para las aplicaciones, es enero 15. Y ya sea que puedan ir al link que está aquí en azul letras blancas y en azul, o también con su teléfono, con la cámara de su teléfono, pueden escanear el código y los va a llevar directamente a la aplicación. Um, pues si tienen alguna otra pregunta, vamos a estar aquí para responderles.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that information, and both seem like really great programs and opportunities for community involvement. I do want to go back a little bit to the Water Leadership Institute. We did see multiple dates, and so I'm wondering if it's mandatory for participants to attend all of those sessions, or if maybe they're only able to attend maybe one or two, or talk a little bit more about the time commitment.
Yeah, absolutely. So we generally encourage folks to make it to all of them if possible, but we know life happens and people are busy. So we can work with folks. In the past, we've done, we've had kind of a requirement, soft requirement to attend 3 out of the 4 sessions in order to get a certificate of completion. But we've also, worked with folks and gone over the material for sessions that they have had to miss, so that they can kind of stay in the loop as they join the next one. So yeah, my advice would be if you're unsure of how many of the sessions you'd be able to attend, I think apply and put that in your application, and we can work with you on that.
I'll just add that each session is going to be different and cover different materials. So if you only attend one, you're not getting the whole experience. So we really do want to encourage everybody to participate in as many of the sessions as they can.
Great, thank you for that. And then I know you had mentioned, I don't know who would be most appropriate to answer this question, but you had mentioned that this is the first time that the Water Leadership Institute is coming to the Salinas Valley. So what have you heard from people who have participated in the past from other regions?
Yeah, in terms of like why are we bringing it to the Salinas Valley or
Yeah, just
um,
feedback or new things that they've learned, or whether, how insightful this really was for them.
yeah, absolutely. So we stay pretty up to date with our alumni throughout California. And, I think there's a lot of success stories to kind of point to. My favorite, most recent one is our alumni from the 2024 cohort. And she works in a high school at Sequoia High School, and specifically works in the like career, or was working in the career development office. And she actually brought a lot of the Water Leadership Institute curriculum to that career development space and leadership development space for her high school students. And it culminated in a rafting trip that we were able to support for students, which was just so cool. It was, a river, the Kauai River, that was less than 40 minutes away from where a lot of these kids were growing up. And they had never been there. And so, opportunities to kind of connect participants to place as much as possible, to really drive home that the impact of like why should they care about water, has been a really kind of fun thread to follow. But yeah, that's one example. And I think we're trying to, especially because this is the first time we're bringing the program to Salinas, like we're trying to bring in as many folks that are already doing incredible work in the area. And so that's why it's been so awesome to partner with Sarah and Letty and Leticia and our friends at Milpa, because there's already such incredible kind of community and environmental advocacy networks that exist. And so I'm excited for the Water Leadership Institute to kind of be a almost like help participants navigate all of those existing spaces and groups that they can get involved in, that already exist. And we can just kind of put them on a menu of pathways that people can follow, and have those pathways be